Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahmavidaram. Okay. Hari Om to everyone. Please turn on your video camera so I can see you. I can make sure you're okay. Today we're going to start a text, Peace in a Restless World. This is a text from the Mananam series of Chinmay Mission. I've sent you all the link for how to purchase the text, and so you should have that. But also Shrikant has kindly scanned the pages that were the first few pages so that you could read them before the text. So how we're going to study this text is I will start with a little bit of a discourse, and then I'm going to split you up into groups for discussion so that you can also interact with each other. Hence, it's better if you're in one place, you're focused, your video is on, so that you also have the opportunity to interact with other people in our community. And then after that, the final part will be a debrief where we can all engage with each other, ask questions, and share our thoughts and feelings. This is a very challenging time for all of us, but I'm sure if we are in it together, then we will get through. I'm going to start by reading a poem in the book. It says, "If there is righteousness in the heart, there will be beauty in the character. If there is beauty in the character, there will be harmony in the home. And when there is harmony in the home, there will be order in the nation. And when there is order in the nation, there will be peace in the world." So many of us wonder where peace comes from. When we learn about spirituality, when we learn through Vedanta, we learn that peace actually starts from here. Peace starts from the person. Before we get into that, let's define each word of the text. The first essay is from Puja Guruji, Swami Tejomayanandaji, where he defines each word. We first go with world. We think there is only one world, but when we look at our Shastras, there are three distinct worlds that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. One world is what we call Adidevika. Adidevika means all the forces of nature, all our divine forces, our 5 elements, space, air, fire, water, earth, our forces of when there's floods and when there's rain. These kinds of forces, the forces of nature, are called Adidevika. Then we have what is called Adibhautika. So if you want to say Adidevika in English, it's the phenomenal world. Adibhautika is the social world, right? So even if the whole world, we are one, and we all are dealing with the same natural forces, Adibhautika are these social forces around us, like disease, like death, like suffering around us, like pollution, economic crisis. All of these things that are going on right around us are Adibhautika. And that you'll find is different for different countries. So this is the second world we're dealing with, which is the social world. The third world we're dealing with is called Adhyatmika. Adhyatmika means our inner world, our own world of thoughts, our own world of different kinds of moods and things going on in our own minds. That is called our inner world. And thus, you will hear in our scriptures when we say Shanti, we say it 3 times. The first Shanti is to silence the Adidevika. We look for peace in the world, in the forces, from the divine forces. The second Shanti is Adibautika. We look for peace in those around us. And the last Shanti is Adhyatmika. We look for peace in our own thoughts, our words, and our deeds. Now, what is restlessness in each of these stages? Restlessness in our Adidevika, or our phenomenal world, is our floods, our typhoons, our storms, our earthquakes. It's a way that nature responds, but not on its own. It's a way that nature responds with what we've given to nature, with how we've treated. That's the way nature comes back to us or gives us back. So a natural response is when what nature does. And Adidevika, the restlessness of the phenomenal world, is caused when we cause an imbalance, when there is disharmony. Just like the environment is made up of 5 elements, we too are made up of 5 elements. So imagine what it's like when there's a water imbalance in our system and we're going to the bathroom a lot, or there's a fire imbalance in our system and we have high blood pressure, low blood pressure. So if in our system it's composed of 5 elements and we're going through imbalance, in Mother Nature also, being composed of 5 elements, Mother Nature goes through certain imbalance. And when that happens, there's a toxic, there's a disease, there's something that's thrown out, just like in our bodies. In the Adibautika, the same way. There's restlessness around us when there is a crisis, there is noise, there's pollution, there's worry, there's fear. There's a restlessness when we don't respect each other's spaces. We don't respect each other's lives. So when I was reading about this current pandemic, one of these scientists, he said that they were able to predict this zoonotic spillover. He said that it would be, they were studying, they were already researching different viruses that could come from animals to humans because we've penetrated into their ecosystems. We've had more of a demand of roads, of space, of so many things. Our demands kept increasing. And hence we've penetrated deep into their environments. And it is but natural for that spillover to come to us. So he said that this kind of thing was very predictable and they were studying this in their labs. But unfortunately, this is not something that we all take so seriously because it doesn't happen so often. So restlessness in ecosystems, in the things around us, are when we take more than what we need and we start going into people's territories and thinking that we are the center of this whole world when we actually share this world. Restlessness in Adhyatmika, inside, is caused by negative thinking. In our own thoughts, it's negative thinking, it's fear, it's stress, it's anxiety because we don't know what's going to happen. It's worry because we've never seen anything like this before. So all kinds of things take place and we're thinking of our loved ones and how they are and how they would be in this environment. So there's a lot of unrest that's going on. So now we've seen what the world is, how there are actually 3 worlds. And we've seen how there's restlessness in each layer. And we've seen what that restlessness actually is. Now we're going to see how to bring about peace in it. What is that which brings us the greatest amount of peace? What brings us the greatest amount of peace is acceptance. When we have a deep acceptance, that's something that calms our mind. In Sanatana Dharma, we don't believe that anything randomly happens. We know that there's a reason why everything happens. And we have been irresponsible in our own light. The thing is, we always feel like the immediate cause of something is the cause. We feel like because this person did something, we're all getting the result. But actually, the immediate cause is not the cause. When you and I trace back everything, it comes to the ultimate cause, which is you and me. For example, in one of the days that you had, somebody caused you to get angry. Somebody caused you to get mad. Did they really cause you to do that? Were they really the cause of your anger? No. If you and I trace the cause of our anger and disturbance, it will come up to me, to you. It's because maybe we were not able to maintain a calm peace of mind. Maybe we were not able to be in our composure. Maybe we lacked our spiritual sadhana, and hence it's so easy to disturb. So the immediate cause for something is never the ultimate cause for it. And when you and I look back and trace it, it will always come to us. So it's not a blame game. It's not something that is caused by one person, one country, one place. It's not. It is something that maybe that place is the immediate cause and we don't deny it. But it's not the ultimate cause. The ultimate cause is our excessive greed, is our high demand. It's our high taking for granted of everything that's been given to us and just slacking out and saying, it's okay. It's okay to live extravagantly. It's okay to harm other things unnecessarily. It's okay to go beyond our limit and everything will be fine. But actually, it's not. So whatever's happening, it's not one being, one person. It's all of us in it together. The other thing about this is that we forget that we are all interconnected. You and I think that we live independently when actually we don't. You and I can never exist independently. My body cannot exist without water. My body cannot exist without air for more than 1 minute. My body cannot exist without the sun. So how is it that I see myself separate from nature when I am so dependent on nature? We cannot exist apart from all of that. But yet we feel different from it. In our Upanishads, it actually says that everyone is one being. And it says that Bhagavan's head is the heavens, and Bhagavan's ears are the Vedas. Bhagavan's eyes are the sun and the moon. Bhagavan's words are praises. Bhagavan's stomach is this whole world. Bhagavan's feet is the earth. It actually says that our God is one being and that we are all connected. We cannot live independent of each other. So this illusion of individuality is what harms us. We feel like because our bodies start and end from the head and go all the way to the toe, that that's us. But that individuality is an illusion because we cannot live independent of each other. If there were no animals, we wouldn't be able to live also. So when we look at this, we are actually all connected. And whether you and I do anything, it doesn't matter because we will get what we need to get. In the sense that whether you and I have contributed to this pandemic or not, by the very fact that we live in a place, that's our collective karma. Because we live in New York City, just by living in New York City, we will get our collective karma. Just by living in the West Coast, in the Philippines, in different areas, we will get our collective karma just by being there. So don't think that it's a type of thing that, oh, I didn't do anything. I'm living my life well. Just by being in a place, we are affected by that place. So when there's a deep sense of acceptance that, yes, this happened, and there's a sense of responsibility that, yes, unknowingly or knowingly, I too am part of this, then there's a quicker sense of adaptability. The quicker you and I accept that this is our life now. And we don't know how long it could go on for, because every day the news changes. The quicker you and I accept that this is our life, the quicker we can adapt, the quicker we can move, the quicker we can do things. The one who accepts is the one who always succeeds. Guruji very beautifully points out that there are different kinds of students of life. There's a kind of student that will deny that there's such a thing happening. They'll deny that there's disease in the world. They'll deny that it's huge. They'll deny all of this. And when we have someone who denies, then they're not going to do something about it. They're just going to sit there and just keep denying. And that kind of person will never get help. The second kind of student is the one that accepts that, yes, there's an issue. Whatever issue it may be, whether it is my own mental state, whether it's with my family, whether it's with my community, whatever it is, the one who accepts that I have an issue, that student is better off because that student will actually seek help. It is like in the Bhagavad Gita and the Mahabharata. And I shared this thought with some of the youth last week. The kind of student who denies that anything's happened is like Ravana. Like denies that what he's doing is wrong. He's just in denial. But when you start to look at Arjuna, what happens? Arjuna is confused. He's perplexed. He's troubled. He doesn't know what to do. And he goes on and on and on to Lord Krishna. But towards the second chapter, Arjuna surrenders and he says, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. I'm confused. I'm weak and I need guidance. He surrenders to Lord Krishna. He says, Dharma Samura Cheta. And because he surrenders, guess what Lord Krishna did? Lord Krishna gave him Bhagavad Gita. Imagine if Arjuna didn't surrender and didn't accept that, yes, I am confused. Yes, I have an issue. Yes, I don't know what to do. If he did not accept, we would have never gotten the Bhagavad Gita. So if you and I don't accept that there's something that we're going through, we won't get help. This is the second kind of student, the one who accepts, can adapt, can rise, can fight, and can win. The third kind of student is the best. Not the one who denies, not the one who accepts, but the one who prevents. And that is Lakshmana in Sri Rama Gita. The one who's able to prevent, the one who's able to see from far what's going to happen and say, oh, all of this is going to happen. Let's be ready. Let's get up there and let's make sure we're prepared for it. As a community, a global one, maybe we weren't so prepared. But we can see that those places which are more prepared are able to face this better. We can see that the places that are accepting that this is happening can face it better. And we can definitely see those who were in denial that this was going to come are the last ones to be able to deal with this. So acceptance is a great bringer of peace. And in these three worlds, how to further create that sense of harmony is in the Adidevika world, to accept and start living in harmony with the forces of nature. Start living in harmony with how Mother Earth is. There's a way we can live where we don't waste, where we don't take for granted, where we don't buy too much, where we don't indulge in so much greed, where we don't pollute. There is a way to live in harmony. And when we start living in harmony with nature, then that peace that Adidevika forces will be silenced. But if we continue to live in disharmony, then it will respond accordingly. Whatever we put in is how we respond. Another way to live in harmony with nature is, as we know, in our tradition, we chant mantras. So those of you who've been chanting with us every day, we've been doing the Mahamrityunjaya mantra. Does that really have an effect? It does. You might wonder why many countries are clapping their hands or taking their thalis and spoons and hitting it really loud and generating so much sound. It's because sound is a vibration, and sound changes the vibration in the atmosphere. So when you and I actually chant these mantras, they change the vibration not only here, but in the atmosphere around us. And mantra is not something that you can put on YouTube and let it go on. No, mananat trayate iti mantra. It protects the one who reflects on it. It protects the one who contemplates on it. So if you want to be protected by it, chant it. And as you can see, we were doing the Mahamrityunjaya mantra and we're explaining the meaning of each word so that we can really reflect on it. Back in the day, our rishis didn't have pills and all kinds of things. They didn't heal like that. They healed with mantra. They healed with Vak Shakti. They healed with the purity of their tapasya. So if we want to create harmony in the Adidevic world, we can do so by living in harmony with Mother Nature and chanting these mantras, chanting, putting out these vibrations so that it sends out healing energy. And the beauty of it is that you and I are capable of it. Don't feel like sitting at home, you and I can't do anything. We can do so much. We can do so much if we just keep our thoughts and our words in this mantra. How to silence, how to make peace with the Adibautic forces. The Adibautic forces, the ones around us, how to make peace with them. Guruji says in this essay is to develop good leadership. You and I might think that leaders are only the ones who are holding offices, but that's not so. Everyone here is a leader because you and I never know, but people are looking up to us every step of the way, whether it's children, our siblings, spouses, our parents, people around us. We're looking up to each other every step of the way. And if you and I want to make peace with what's around us, then the only way is to practice good leadership. And he brings about this beautiful point that the good leader or a great leader has these three beautiful qualities. One is that great leader is the sharana, is the refuge of people, is that who protects people. Right now, many of you are parents. You are the sharana, you are the refuge of your children. And if we want to be good leaders, we have to be their refuge and protect them from all of this. We have to be firm. We have to be strict when needed and be that sense of refuge. That's sharana. The second quality that he points out is somebody who not only protects but sustains. So you and I are in a very peculiar situation right now where we have to protect and sustain. We have to keep the house going, keep the home going, no matter what happens, no matter how crazy it gets, no matter how many people are living together, and this kid has this virtual class and that kid has that virtual class, no matter how many things are going on, and my in-laws have that and my parents have that, our dharma is to sustain. You and I cannot afford to get away from this. We have to be firm, we have to be strong, and we have to keep the home going. Because you are the pillar of your home right now. You are. And you can't afraid to break down. You can't afford to break down. You cannot. We have to be that strength. And we've studied so much in Vedanta that we can be strong if we are backed up by knowledge. Husbands and wives and partners, you are each other's pillar right now. And we have to do whatever it takes to sustain each other. One who protects, one who sustains, and the third quality is the one who provides virtues, the one who gives a righteous education. That is a leader, protects, sustains, and gives a righteous education to tell people the right way to live, but not only tell people the right way to live, more importantly, show people the right way to live right now. Being aware, being careful, being cognizant, to develop or to have adibautic peace. These are the tools necessary for us to develop in our homes, in our communities, in our very lives. To have adhyatmic peace, peace within. The mind is getting so disturbed, it's getting stressed out. Sometimes there's cabin fever because so many people are in the house all of a sudden. That mind is to connect to positivity. Whatever it takes to keep the mind positive and keep it lifted is what we need to do. Whether it's a discourse, whether it's a podcast, it's a great book, whatever it may be, your dharma in the adhyatmic sense is to stay inspired and positive. When that mind is inspired and positive, then it's able to do wonderful things. And this time, this period can actually be a retreat, a way to introspect deeper on how we've been living our lives, a way to connect to our spiritual center, a way to just be and think about who we are and why we are here. So if you and I want to start building this peace, then Adibhavika, live in harmony with nature, enchant. Adibhautika, be that leader that is needed at this very point in time. In Adhyatmika, keep our minds connected to positivity.